Hey Dream Team, welcome to week 2 of Dream Team News. I am so excited for this weekend, but before I talk about what's coming up, I want to take a moment just to celebrate what God did this past weekend on January 6th. Here are just a few wins from this weekend. Check this out. We had 3,349 people in attendance this Sunday. That's huge. And just so you know, our bigger numbers normally come later in February and March. So what a great start to the year. We had 47 people attend step 1 of Growth Track. That's an incredible start to the year. A lot of people ready to start the year on the right foot. We had 27 people attend group leader training. And so we are getting ready for Group Connect that's going to happen on the 27th of January. It's going to be huge, and this is really awesome. We had 17 people get baptized this week, and the baptism team killed it, created a great Sunday experience. We had gone into the weekend only with 9 people signed up, and so Pastor Daniel brought some fire. What an incredible start to the Revival series. Which is a great segue into what's coming up this weekend. So this weekend we got week 2 of the Revival series. Just so you know, we got our very own Bethany Euphema preaching, and whenever she preaches, she brings the fire. So y'all better get ready to yell at her, talk to her, help her preach it, because it's going to be an incredible message. A couple other things for this weekend. Our setup's going to be a pretty normal setup. So similar to last weekend, we're going to have our Growth Track Step 2 set up in the multi-purpose room with probably 5 circle tables in Step 2. We're going to have that old college room with the sliding glass doors set up for group leader training again. And we're expecting a lot more people to go for group leader training so we could kick off the group semester strong. And then in the foyer, we'll have a pretty normal foyer setup. Our coffee will be under the center screen in the foyer. We're going to move the student section over to by the guest services closet for this Sunday because the weather doesn't look so great. Unfortunately, I saw a snowflake, but even if it doesn't snow, it's going to be chilly this weekend. So we're going to move first-time guests inside. You're welcome, first-time guest team. And then what am I missing? Overflow, because those 2 spaces are used. Overflow is going to be on the far side of the foyer. So we'll be ready to pull chairs out again like we did for 11:15 this week if we need to. By the way, 11:15 team, you guys killed it this week. We had over 1,300 people in the building for 11:15. Y'all did a great job making it a good experience for all those people. So that's for this weekend. I want to give you guys just a little bit of news on what's coming up, and so that y'all are aware of what's happening here at LifePoint Fredericksburg. So here's a few things news-wise to know. Moving forward, we're just starting that this year. Many of you are aware that Growth Track had Step 1, Step 2, and then there was a Step 3 before people could join the team. Moving forward, we're not going to have Step 3 any longer. We're combining it with Step 2 to try to take another step out of the process for people to connect to the team. So there won't be Step 3 at 9:30 on the first and third Sunday of the month. It'll just be Step 1 and Step 2. And I'm hoping that we're going to see a lot more people connecting to our teams out of Step 2 from that. A couple things specifically for the guest services team, but this is good for everybody to know. We've had some people asking about how to get on the wait list for Freedom groups. And right now, before we kick the semester off, the group locator isn't up online, so people can't get on there to get on the list. So if you have somebody that comes to you, anybody, and asks how to get into a Freedom group wait list, tell them to email Taylor Philpott, tphilpott@lifepoint.org. I think his card's normally at the guest services environment. And let him know that that person wants to join Freedom. He'll go ahead and add that person to the wait list. Another big thing for guest services is we just changed the LifePoint website. And moving forward, we don't have lifepoint.org/care. So, and a lot of people went to lifepoint.org/care for a bunch of different needs. And so here's the places that people need to go now. Now, if somebody has a prayer request or they feel like, hey, they want to share their story, they could go to lifepoint.org/contact. And then if there's anything else they need, benevolence, they want a wedding or premarital counseling, they need help with a funeral or a hospital visit, they can go to info@lifepoint.org and send an email to that email address, and somebody will respond to them and get them connected to the right person. Now, this last piece of news is kind of a biggie, but I want everybody to be aware of it. So as a staff, we've been talking through the best way to make sure that we're taking care of Dream Teamers that are serving and allowing God to continue to pour people into our campus so that we can grow and continue to reach more people. And so we have made a decision that in February, it starts on Super Bowl Sunday, February 3rd. We always do this where our 5 p.m. service moves to 1 p.m. because people are going to go watch the Super Bowl. But what we're going to do this year is we are going to keep the 5 p.m. service at 1 p.m. moving forward. We think this is going to do a couple great things. It's going to allow our people that serve at that last service an opportunity to attend a service and serve a service. But the other thing it's going to do is it's going to allow people that currently attend 11:15 to hopefully make the move to 1 p.m. so we have more room for people far from God to attend our campus. And maybe you know somebody that currently attends the 11:15, or you currently attend the 11:15. I'd ask you to consider making a change or talking to somebody about making a change from 11:15 to 1. It's going to be a huge opportunity to open up some seats at that prime time service that we know people far from God come to. And like we know from last week, we had 50 people sitting out in the foyer, and we want to create space in the auditorium for those people that are far from God to sit in there. And so that's one of the reasons we're making this change. So just so you're aware, beginning in February, we're not going to have a 5 p.m. service any longer. It's going to move to 1 p.m. So that's the news about what's coming up. Just a few more things. I want to let you know about some upcoming events. This weekend, we announced in the news, LifePoint News, the Awakening Conference that's happening January 25th, 26th. I'd encourage you to take a look at awakeningconference.com and see if it's something you could be a part of. I know it's going to be incredible. Pastor wouldn't open it up to us if he didn't know it was going to be incredible and life-changing. So if you can do it, I'd encourage you to do it. February 3rd, I mentioned this, is Big Game Sunday. We're going to do a special environment after the 1 p.m. to capitalize on the Super Bowl and to encourage people to attend that 1 p.m. service. So get ready to hear some plans about what's happening and how you can help make that a great kickoff to our 1 p.m. and a great experience for people that are coming to check it out. And finally, just a heads up for everybody, there's going to be a security training on Saturday, March 9th. It's going to be 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Spotsy building. It's a Saturday morning. I'd encourage all the coaches and leaders to try to make it a priority to be there. There's some incredible training on, hey, what are our safety procedures? What do we do for different emergency situations? And it's a good thing to be aware of. We don't normally need to use it, but we really do want to know it if the situation arises. So you can make plans to be there. If you have any questions, I'd encourage you to talk to Tom Spellman. He's normally on our campus. He's going to be running that. And so that is Saturday, March 9th. Now, I want to close with the 3 big things that you should keep in the forefront of your mind this entire weekend, and really in this next season. There's 3 big things that we need to keep in the front of our minds. First is group leader training and group connect. If you're not in a group yet, you're missing out. And so I'd encourage you, if you're not in a group yet, get in a group. If you're not leading a group, you're also missing out. And so I'd encourage you, maybe you've never thought of it, maybe you've never thought, man, I could lead a group. I'd encourage you, try going to group leader training. It's at 11:15 every Sunday this month. God can use you to make a big difference in people's lives. And here's the key to it, is while you make a difference in their lives, God makes a big difference in your life as well. Second, Kids Point. I want to highlight Kids Point team growth, just so everybody's aware. In this next season, as we go through Growth Track, I'm going to be intentionally pushing a lot of people to Kids Point. They need some good growth in numbers in order to meet the number of kids that are coming to our services, especially that 11:15 service. Man, we had so many kids here this weekend, and if we're going to grow as a campus, we can swing by with a couple less greeters, but it's hard to swing having 60 kids in a room with a couple less adults. And so we're going to be intentionally pushing people there. Maybe you know somebody that would do great at serving at Kids Point. Would you take a moment and maybe text them or talk to them about possibly doing that. Maybe even you've thought, man, I could do it. I give you freedom. You can switch teams over to Kids Point to help us meet that need so we can continue to reach people far from God. Third thing, 21 days of prayer and fasting. It's been an incredible start. I hope that you're joining us in fasting and praying. I want every person on our team to make it for at least one morning. And here's what I think is if you come one morning, you're going to want to come back. And so maybe you can't come during the week. Make sure you come on Saturday. Bring your kids with you. It's an incredible environment to train your kids on what it looks like to have a growing relationship with God. Well, I can't wait to serve with you this weekend. I'm so looking forward to it. Can't wait for week 2 of Legend. Have a great week, guys.